Here we are, New Forest Morphs. We've got Nat. Hiya, Nat.
Hello.
And we've got Matt. Hiya, Matt.
Hello.
And we've got their 3 children, and it's Caleb.
Hello.
And we've got Elisa. And Ivan.
Evelyn.
Evelyn. Sorry, Evelyn. I'm going to get your name spot on. Just give me time. And you can see this is a unique family. They're a beautiful family. They love snakes. And we've got, first of all, let's have a look at the snakes you guys are holding. So we'll start with Nat.
So I'm playing with the babies.
Yeah. So Nat's playing with the babies. This is a pastel hypo, and it's 66% het for pied. And Nat's very kindly offered to do some questions today, haven't you?
I have,
Yeah.
because as a newbie snake owner, I found myself trolling through hours and hours of Google content trying to find the stuff before I even met you, and I was very lucky because I've got something that most people don't. I've got a husband who's got snake experience, and I have you guys, so I just bombarded you with all the newbie snake owner questions and kind of learnt from experience and was quite guided. So I just think it would be nice for all that information that's all across the forums to be in one place.
Thank you, Nat. I think it's a great idea, and I really appreciate that. And Matt, you've got a little bit of experience. You've pet snakes before. Just tell us a little bit about your reptile experience and where.
It was quite a long time ago when Evelyn was very young. I think it was 13 snakes in total, and 11 of them were royals. So we had some older ones and some babies, and was looking towards a breeding program, but never got that far.
Okay. Well, the good news is that Matt, Nat, and the whole family are all getting into snakes, and they want to get into breeding. And later today, we're going to look at some rubs and racking systems to get you started. They've already got a couple of snakes doing really well. Nat's an absolute diamond, the way she's looking after them. But the whole family love them. It's great to have Dad on board because Dad has a bit more experience. So it's lovely to have you, Matt. And let's just move to Caleb. Now, Caleb, you've got a beautiful snake there. Now, that one there, you've actually got a family of snakes there. Now, that one there is Gandalf the Grey, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's beautiful. They're all purple passions, but this one could have yellow belly and pastel in. And you've been bonding with that one. You like that one a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the family getting into snakes?
I think it's pretty cool.
Excellent. Well done. And now we've also got Lizzie. So Lizzie, let's just have a look at your snake there. You've got Gandalf the White. And you bonded, last time you came, you bonded with that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I've got a feeling that you want to walk away with that one day. Mum's absolutely agreeing. Dad's thinking, yeah, when we've got space. And moving on to Evelyn. Evelyn, what have you got here?
I don't think it has a name yet, but
Okay, so this is a purple passion as well, but this one's got a darker purple passion. So actually less might be more here. It may have less genetics because you can see the purple passion coming through on the snakes. Beautiful. It's got a lovely pattern to it. They are beautiful snakes. So purple passions are Mystic combined with Mojave. So Dad's snake here is a Mojave, which is that one there. And then you've got the Mystic or the Phantom genetic, which actually I don't actually have a Phantom genetic on its own, because all my snakes are either bells or they've got the Phantom built in the white snake itself, so you can't actually see the pattern. So why don't we put the snakes back, and then we're going to move on to the next stage, which is actually looking at some locks. I've got 3 breeding pairs that are locking, and I'll show you what it's like to lock from a snake perspective. So we'll start first of all with Dad. Maybe we can put yours away first, because Dad's going to be our, thank you Matt for offering to be our cameraman today. So we'll put that one back first. There we go. So that's Starburst, and she's hopefully going to breed for us next season. And we're going to use her for our triple het projects. We're going to get Ultramel, Clown and Pied into the Mojave and Banana and the Leopard gene. So it's going to be quite a powerful breeding opportunity if she'll go for us. There we go. And then, okay, thank you Dad, I'll pass the camera over to you now. Right, so let's, maybe we can put yours back now. So these 3 are all over there, so let's just put these up here. So we've got Gandalf the White, goes in here. I'm going to put Gandalf the White back in there. That's lovely. Well done. think he is definitely bonding with you. Well done, that's lovely. And then I think I've left the other 2 rubs up there. So he doesn't want to go, he wants to stay with you, doesn't he? He's saying, what are you doing? I want to spend some time with my lover girl. You can hold it for a bit longer if you like. When they do that, it means they're not ready to go back. Therefore, I think you can enjoy him while we're filming, if you like. I mean, all 3 of you can enjoy your snakes while we're filming. We don't need to put those back if you don't want. Do you prefer to hold the snakes? And Kayla, do you want this one? You put yours back, okay. So. Oh yes, I'll get the other one out for you. So we'll put this one back then, and then.
Okay, let me give you Caleb.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
lovely.
those are great.
Thank you. Well done, guys. I'm really impressed with how you're handling these snakes. And then we've got the other one here, which is the Azog. Azog goes back. Lovely. That's okay. You're doing a good job. He's connected to you like a bracelet, isn't he? So if you do the front, I'll do the back. And we'll just gently peel them off. And again, he wants to come out and still play with you, doesn't he? There we go. They do like this enrichment time. It's nice for them to come out and play. So we'll put those back. And there's just Mum's. Well done, Mum. Need to help you out there. There we go.
Let go.
That's it.
Oh God.
There we go. He's on a bit. That's it. He's fine.
I will always flinch and move my hand out of the way whenever a snake head comes quite closely to it at speed.
Yeah, that's probably very wise. Okay. Right, what we'll do is we'll probably, if that's okay, we'll show you the locks first.
Yeah.
So these are the ones that we've got. Here we've got a project, it's called a clown. And she's bowl wrapping now. And she was locked earlier. So you can see these 2 have been breeding. And unfortunately they've unlocked. So you're not going to see a lock here, but they've unlocked. And it's probably because the light's on now and we are moving around, so they probably realise that. Some of them can't be bothered, they'll stay as they are, others decide to. So when a female's getting ready to breed, you can see what she's doing. She's scenting. You can smell the scenting in here, but she's scenting to attract the male on. And then she goes straight into bowl wrapping to build her follicles. It's very interesting that after blocking, she's gone into bowl wrapping. That's a good sign.
Okay, so that's like the snake way of putting on her Chanel number 5, basically, and saying I'm ready.
She's ready, yeah. She's certainly, absolutely, very much so. And the boy, you can't see the genetic in him, but he's carrying a very valuable gene called sunset.
Okay.
And that's a recessive gene, and we're going to talk about what a recessive gene is and what a het is.
Yeah.
So he's het for sunset, which means he's carrying 1 copy of the gene,
Okay.
but it's hiding behind the dominant gene he's carrying, which is enchi and pastel. So we'll explain more about that, but they're happy. They may relock. So I'll leave them together for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Sometimes even 3, but normally, you know, a couple of days is normally enough. The next one that locked is Fern. Now Fern is a bit of a fussy girl. There she is. She might still be in lock. Now, you can just about see their tails are together here. His tail's under hers, and they're locked. She's a fire het clown, and he is a leopard clown that's carrying enchi, pastel, and lesser. So he's a 5 gene animal.
Wow.
He's a stud boy, and he's produced some wonderful snakes for us. So there's an example of a lock. Let's see if I can show you. There should be another one around somewhere. Up here we've got another one. So this is my project. Now this is Costa. Now Costa is a purple. She's a Mocha Mojave. So she's a bell. Mocha is in the bell complex.
Yeah.
Mocha is a chocolate-looking snake. Like a mocha, you get coffees and chocolates, don't you? Mocha. So Mocha mixed with Mojave gives you a white snake with a blue eye. But this is a stunning girl. She's got a yellow stripe around her back, and she's big. And she's locking with our stud boy, which is Colt, and he's an ultramar pied. So we'll just have a little look at them, see if they're still locked. They may or may not be.
You have some serious muscles to do that.
So their tails have separated, but you can see they've unlocked. But you can see the girl. She's a big girl.
Beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So the good news is when they lock, we record that on their breeding card. So each female has a breeding card, and you can see here we put down the date of the follicles. The follicles are small eggs growing inside the female. So they're not called eggs, they're called follicles. Now we measure them using our ultrasound. Like you know when you go in and have your ultrasound for babies, we have the same for females, and we use a gel and we put them on their body and we measure 12mm follicles back in April 25, and Colt's given her 3 locks, one today,
Yep.
one in April and one in March. For somehow he missed May. I think they were in shed during May, so we didn't quite get that right, but we try and do 1 a month, and we want her to build her follicles up to 24, 36 and eventually 45.
Okay, and how do you get a snake's follicles to build?
So she, like I was saying on the other one, they bowl wrap. So what they do is they have to cool those follicles for them to grow.
Oh, right, okay.
So when they're in the cool end, so there's a gradient in here, you have a cold spot and a warm spot, and they go towards the cold spot and they build their eggs by actually cooling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also they need a lot of food as well, because the girls got absolutely ravenous for food. So when they're building and they know they've got to produce a clutch, you'd feed them probably once a week rather than once every 2 weeks, and you give them bigger prey items.
Yeah.
But when their follicles get a certain size, you've got to step down the prey item because they can't pass the rat won't pass through while they're pregnant, because the eggs are so big that they can't pass. That's why they switch off. And for a couple of months, a female will switch off. It means that she's almost ready to go. Nothing to worry about. She's not unhealthy or anything. It just means that she's got better sense to realise that she wants to build those eggs, and she's got enough reserve to build them now. So she rests her body. So that's the process. So that's Costa for you. And I think that's the 3 locks I wanted to show you. Now I know that you guys love your albinos, and Mum particularly, I know she loves her albinos. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually bring out the clutch that we had on Friday. And do you want to see some babies in their eggs? Yeah? What I'll do is if I can bring this table down. And perhaps if Dad would like to come on that side and you guys come on this side. We'll get the studio lights on these, because I've got my studio lights shining down on this table, so when we actually do videos, the quality of the genetics looks better.
So you can see the baby snake?
That's it.
Do you guys want to come this side so you can see the baby snakes?
They were in the eggs, a lot of them have come out, which is lovely actually, because it means they are almost ready to be set up into their shedding tub. So these babies have been in their eggs for nearly 3 months. A month will be in their mother, and 2 months will be in the incubator, because we obviously choose to do incubation. So it takes 2 months, so it's 3 months in total. Well, there we go. Now if they pong a bit, it's because they leave a bit of egg residue in. So if you can smell an eggy smell, I haven't let one go. I mean, it's not me. So what we'll do is we'll actually put those eggs in the bin. I mean, some people keep them, dry them, and they make art out of them as well. There's lots that you can do with these things. I like to remove the eggs because they are a bit smelly.
They are so cute.
You can see that one's still in there. There's 3 that are still in there. Now how do we identify what we've got? That's the question. And we've got friends who are very interested in buying these from us. We've got some babies from last year that we're building up, so we won't need any of these particular snakes. So what have we got here? So I think that one there is a blackhead lavender albino, and the reason why I'm saying that's a blackhead is because when you put blackhead into albino, the oranges are brighter and the whites contrast with that. And you also find that their head stamp is also a slightly different colour. There's more white in the head stamp when you have a blackhead in there. This one is a blackhead albino, so we've got 2 blackhead albinos, and this one looks like a blackhead albino as well. Not ready to come out yet, but that one there, I believe, let's have a little look at this one here.
Oh, it's so cute.
So it's in shed, so you haven't even seen its brightness yet. This is in shed.
It looks like it's like a darker orange around the yellowy bits, doesn't it?
It is. And there you can see, that's, for me, that's an example of a blackhead lavender albino. They retail, the females go for about £700,
Wow.
and the males go for about 600 in the UK. So that's the kind of price that we're looking at. That is carrying het pied, which means that you put your blackhead into the dreamsicle. So there's an example of a blackhead lavender albino.
So how come you cut the eggs?
So
Because I've seen loads of people do this and I've always wondered why.
there's 2 or 3 reasons. The first reason is curiosity on our part, which is
Okay.
probably not a good reason to do it. But
Well, they're
unfortunately,
still safe, aren't they? They're still fine.
yeah. But the second reason is for their own safety as well, because in the snake there's what they call an umbilical cord that the snake can get wrapped up on sometimes.
Yeah.
So by intervening and actually going in, you can actually inspect the egg and see whether it's actually going to strangle itself on its umbilical.
Oh wow.
And there's a way of actually
Unwinding
unknotting it. There's a safe way of doing it, which we can show you in another video. So there are some safety reasons why we cut, but we always cut late, never cut
Yeah.
early. And I think on my previous video I talked about there's a membrane in the egg.
it. Yeah.
There's about 4 different membranes. So the babies are feeding off a yolk sac, and they're absorbing the mother's yolk.
That's what you were talking about when we came last time about them absorbing from the egg.
That's right.
Yeah.
They also have another little membrane, which is called the waste disposal membrane, where their waste goes.
Okay.
It's separate to the egg yolk. Now, if you cut too early, you can cut through the wrong membrane, and you can poison the snake, and it can die in its own egg, because all of the waste product can mix with the yolk, and you end up with a problem. So
Yeah.
you've got to be really careful. So what we tend to do is we let the first 1 or 2 pip first, and that
Yeah.
tells us that the snakes are ready to come, and then we assist the other ones. You don't have to, you can let them all pip. but
Oh, it's
yeah.
the little nose on it. Look
Yeah,
at it. How
yeah.
cute is that?
Yeah. So I think we've got lucky with the odds. We've got at least 3 blackhead lavenders there. When these 2 others come out, we'll actually be able to identify them better when they shed out.
Mm.
But I'll show you last year's babies to show you what they look like out of shed. But thank you for your questions. That's really helpful.
I just always
Yeah.
wondered.
Yeah. I think what we'll do is we'll probably do the video in 2 parts. We'll do part 1 and part 2. So part 2 will be the questions and answer session. And part 1 will be just going through the collection and just explaining a few genetics,
Yeah.
if you're okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll slip this back, so thank you, Dad, for that. I will bring out some other things we can discuss before we actually go to part 2. The other important thing is when you put them away, do make sure that your lids are sealed, because if you don't, they'll find a way out. And you've got a fan in here, so we don't want to go into a fan and hurt
No.
themselves. So we've also got 3 other clutches that are in here that are going to be due in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and that's another good time to come up and visit us to see, because I know that Mum and Dad love the Exantic,
Oh.
the Gothic look.
Oh.
We've got a Gothic clutch coming, which is the Exantic clown clutch.
Oh, okay, that's it. We're going to be spending all of our money here now. Rather than just sort of 70% of it.
Right, we're going to show you the grown-up versions of these babies. So, this is one in shed. This is one that's just come out of shed. Now, the reason I know the humidity is good in here is because look at this perfect shed here. There's your perfect shed. No breakages. If it's broken or if it's all in bits, the humidity's wrong.
Yeah,
If it's perfect like a sock, that's what you want.
that's what noodles come about as.
So if I bring this guy out here now, he looks stunning. He's just literally shed out. Just look how bright he is.
Wow.
And he's a blackhead. Now can you see that the blackhead gives you much more white,
Yeah.
and the intensity of the oranges are darkened with the blackhead. It darkens those up. So you end up with a really good contrast. And if you put leopard and enchi into this, it looks even more amazing. And we're going to plan to do that. Enchi and leopard are 2 darker genes. Well, enchi is a brightening gene, leopard's a darker gene, and that adds to the contrast.
It's just
Do
stunning.
you want to have a little hold? Because I know you love your
Yeah.
albinos.
Yeah, it's very much like noodle.
So this one actually is going into shed. It's slightly older. This is the girl. This is our stud boy. So this is from last year's clutch. Now this boy here, this girl here, is going into shed. Can you see that? So she's not as vibrant as this one if you were to compare the 2 colours.
I still like the yellow though on her.
If I show you the father,
Yeah.
I'll explain why this is called a lavender albino.
Okay.
Because what happens is the lavender colours kick in as they get older. For every shed, they get bluer and bluer and bluer.
Okay.
And I'll show you the father, because they start white, but they're going to end up going lavender.
See, I always thought whenever anyone talked about lavender morphs, they were going to be purple. You know, you thought you're going to get like a light purple snake.
Yeah.
So this is Morphs confuse the heck out of me.
Yeah. So what we'll do is I'll just put this one back. You can hold that one for a bit longer if you like.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. Okay.
I should bring out an example of a blackhead to show everyone what a blackhead looks like. So this is what a blackhead looks like without the lavender. Now I know Dad likes the dark side of the Force, so he will love the blacks.
He is gorgeous.
Now this is a boy, by the way, and they both share the same father, but this time I put this to a clown girl, so he's het for clown. So I'm going to get blackhead into the clown, which is what we want to do. But just how beautiful that is. Look at the contrast and pattern on this guy, and you can see why they're called blackheads, because the head's very black.
And he's gorgeous.
But can you imagine putting the blackhead into lavender albino and you get the white and orange snake? What's happened? Where's the blacks gone?
Yeah.
Do you know how that works, guys? I'll tell you how it works. Is the albinos, they strip out the melanin from the animal. So what you do is they take away a lot of the blacks. So the albinos will strip the black pigment away from the genetics when they combine. So you don't actually see them in that snake because the power of the albino is so powerful, it strips out the blacks and converts them into deeper oranges and deeper whites.
Oh,
It's like a negative of a photo, really.
Yeah.
You take a picture, and in the old days, before we had digital cameras, we used to have, you probably remember,
going into boots.
going into boots, but then you got some negatives. You look at the negatives, and what was black is white, and what is white is black. And this is the same principle with albinism, mixing dark genes in. The more dark genes that go into your albino, the brighter the colours and the contrast.
Oh, they're just both beautiful.
Yeah, I know Dad loves this one. Matt's nodding behind the camera there.
Smiling behind the camera like, how much are you selling that one for?
Well, what we'll do is we're going to do some combined breeding projects together. Dad wants to get into breeding, but I'm going to supercharge the breeding by actually allowing you to share some of our projects.
Thank you
so that you can
much.
actually get some really good quality genetics into your program. So I'll just put this one back. Do you want to have a quick look at the Dad? And I promised you to show you the lavenders on the father.
Yes, please. Shall I pop you back?
Yeah, put him back. And then what I'll do is, if you come with me, Dad. This is the father, which is Zeus. Now Zeus has just shed out for us yesterday, and you'll see just the colours of the lavender albino. Just look at how the colours change to that beautiful lavender. Mum's going to fall in love with Zeus now. See the whites go lavender?
Oh wow.
So you're getting closer to a purple snake, but you've still got the yellows. But that's what happens with time. They go purple, they go lavender, and absolutely gorgeous, the combination.
Oh wow.
And they hold those colours for the rest of his life. They won't disappear. That's his finished. He's 3 years old, 4 years old.
He's stunning.
He's a real stud as well. I mean, we want to put him to as much of our collection as we can because we just love the blackhead genetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. Right, we'll wash our hands because we've been handling a few animals. And Dad, on the bottom of that camera, it tells you how many minutes are left to run, probably down to about 5 minutes. It should have a number in the bottom.
Top left, you've got 6 minutes left.
6 minutes to run, so we've got 6 minutes. Is there anything else that you guys want to ask me on the genetic side, on the morph side? You asked me one of your questions we could answer now if you like.
What are the most common morphs? And how do you, what do they look like? Because you have people talking about enchies and fire and, you know, and like I said, even when you mentioned lavender, I'm like, oh, is it purple? So it's knowing the most common morphs, because how many pictures have I sent you and gone, what's this? What's that?
It's a good question. Maybe we'll take one of the questions now. So the 5 favourite morphs depends on you as an individual.
Okay.
But overall, if I told you in the industry, the ones that are really popular are pied.
Yeah.
Now we can show you an example of a pied morph.
Are they the
Let me just
ones
wash
with
my
the
hands
smiley faces on them?
So they are the ones that have smiley faces and the mojos. So if I just show you what my favourite pied bull is, he's a desert ghost pied bull. You've met it before, Tattoo.
Oh, I know.
It's got the name Tattoo on him as well. You can actually see him in here. Where is he? Here we go. So here's Tattoo. That's a pied bull, guys. So the pied bull will actually have whites in between the pattern. And this is what you call a nicely balanced pied, because you've got a nice balance between the white and the pattern. Some you get which are low white, some you get high white. If you want a low white pied bull, you put an enchy in. Enchy gives more pattern to the pied. So when you're breeding, you try and get enchy in. And we've got enchy into our triple heads because we want to see pattern.
Yeah.
I mean, even though white snakes are beautiful, when you've got all these beautiful patterns, you want to see the pattern as well.
Yeah.
So he's carrying Desert Ghost and pied bull, and he's a stud, and he's got a clutch coming, and I've got a female that's going to give us eggs in the next 3 or 4 weeks that's got 6 eggs in her.
He's like, I'm not done with you.
I think he wants to spend some time with you now.
I'm more than happy to hold him. He's
There you go.
scrummy.
Yeah.
Hi.
So there's an example of a pied bull. Now I can give you an example of a clown as well.
Yeah.
So a clown is another popular gene. These are recessive genes, by the way. And you're going to say...
We're gonna get onto all of this.
So we'll talk about what a recessive gene is and what a dominant gene is as well. But these are recessives. And now this is the beautiful little clown that we produced this year. Just look at that. So that's a clown. And the reason it's called a clown is because the person that found the genetics saw some little teardrops coming out of its eyes. It's like mascara. They've got mascara in their eyes. But also on the side of their body, the alien heads go down like a teardrop.
Yeah.
And that's why they call it a clown. Because it's got that clown feature.
Yeah, Finn's got eyeliner.
He has. And it's also got the teardrops as well, if you look carefully on his body. And I can show you, on this one you can't see too many teardrops because she's got enchy in her. So when you put enchy in, it actually makes the dorsal go this beautiful shape.
So what is enchy?
So enchy, I can show you an enchy because I've got several here. An enchy is, this is an enchy. And it's a very, very popular genetic because it enhances the colours. That's what enchy looks like.
So like the black strips being like just run basically.
So they lose their eyes and the keyholes go, and the alien heads disappear with an enchy.
Okay.
And then they become banded and go around the snake on a banded pattern. So if you were to compare it with a normal will have keyholes and it will be not so banded.
Yeah.
So that gives you the banding, and you can see the influence of the banding on the clown means that you've got a little bit of banding on the dorsal.
Yep.
There you go. This one's a triple head, so it's carrying 3 other heads in there, so it's quite a powerful animal. It's VPI Xantic, your Xantic we're talking about. It's got pied in there, and it's also got Desert Ghost. So it's got that Desert Ghost genetic.
He's beautiful.
And we can't wait for these to get up to size because we're going to hit some bangers with this, and it's going to be fantastic. Right, we have run out of time, so thank you so much for your questions, Nat. Thank you, Matt, for being our cameraman for the first part 1. Part 2 will be later on today.
Yep.
We're going to have a wonderful barbecue today. We're going to have a look at the snake racks, and we'll come back and maybe do a second shoot.
Yes.
Thank you ever so much for coming today.
Thank you.